We have a good selection of food.
Okay, so if you'd like to get
If you have anything
you will find that the allergens are...
So I spent some time at the very high-end restaurant, the Fat Duck restaurant in Bray, which is a 3 Michelin star restaurant, very famous. It is not only known for its very amazing food, but their really dedicated focus on customer experience. So we wanted to know, what is that customer experience that they deliver? What is care in a 3 Michelin star restaurant? And can we learn anything from it? I also did some observations in a major trauma hospital in London, and I also observed very excellent care over there. Now it's very different environment, of course, but they also do very good looking after people, but clearly it's a very different setting. But it's all underpinned by care. Now we know, for instance, from the restaurant industry that if the food is great but the service is bad, it's not really a great experience. So we want you to experience today some of the principles of care that we distilled from those observations.
Fernando Imran. Well, I've learned something new today. Yes.
But whereas most simulations used for training or assessment purposes within the healthcare setting, here we're actually using it to engage people so they can feel the experience of care. And therefore, once they feel that experience, we feel we can have a much more open discussion about what the difference is, what the similarities, and what can we learn from each of these different settings.
So what we want to do over the next half hour or so is to get your ideas about what's happened, and particularly to start to explore this idea of what care might mean.
In the restaurant at the moment, we get to know our guests very, very well before they come in. Because it is very, very important for our process to get them to feel the way we would like them to feel. However, when they come into the restaurant, it all depends on, small, minute details. What they look like, what they're dressed, where they're from, what their accent's like, how they're sitting at the table, are they smiling, are they not smiling, are they drinking, are they not drinking, what are they talking about? A couple of weeks ago, we had a little issue with the guest, and I remember I went there and I went to the table, I served some food the way I would do with every other table, and there was something the lady said to me, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be tricky. And I went back to Ryan and I said, you know what, Ryan, please take care of them, because I've got a feeling that something is not right. But if for whatever time you're dealing with that person, you deal with them as a human, as a person with, emotions, feelings, and, you're going to do your best anyway to make sure they get sorted with whatever they have.
I think I had a higher level of expectation about the fine dining experience than the clinical encounter, in that I kind of expected that it would be more personalised and more seamless.
All I just wanted to add was I thought it's not very private to sit next to someone and being questioned and give personal information, and everybody's listening. So
I thought the simulation was incredibly true to life. I mean, I work in an environment like that, and moving on from the oppressive comment, that actually it's oppressive for the patients, and it can be oppressive for the staff as well. It was interesting to watch the anaesthetist, the consultant, the nurses having to kneel, squat on the floor to complete the documentation, which is very realistic and very true to environments that we work in.
There was no small talk at all in the hospital. She just went straight in with her list of instructions. In the restaurant, I felt there was a bit too much small talk, frankly. I didn't want to give an account of my day.
With customer service, people won't remember what you say, but they'll remember how you made them feel. I was in hospital for about a week while they were trying to work out what was wrong with me. And it was over 60 people. I tried to count how many different people I saw. And it's like the people who smiled or were just kind, they really, just made it easier and made me feel less scared, what's happening, am I going to die, all of that stuff.
In healthcare, we know that mortality and morbidity rates are always decreasing and we're doing better than ever. However, the experience of care isn't always the same, and we know that people are now often having long-term depression or PTSD because the experience can be so bad. And we're interested in that. Can we improve it? And can we learn from other sectors such as the restaurant sector or the dining sector in terms of what they do to improve the customer experience? So what we'd like to achieve from these events is to gather all the information from all the public who attend them. If we can learn from each other, if we can borrow ideas from each other, then we know that we'll have a better experience in the future, whether it's for us or our loved ones.
May I just check your details, so your date of birth?
It's the 7th of the 9th, 1995.